Hey guys, it's Dim Reacts, and today we're going to be reacting to top 10 scary SpongeBob SquarePants theories. Some of these people come out with really outlandish theories, but then some of these theories I can actually see happening. I'm curious. I love this channel. I highly suggest that you guys check them out because they have a lot of really interesting lists. But anyway, before we begin, I made a bunch of different social media, so if you guys are interested, you can check them out. They're all up here. And also, if you guys want me to react to a video, please put down in the comment section react to followed by the video title and a link if possible. Just put the link. It just makes it easier. And my hair is a mess on this side. I apologize, you guys. I just got out of the shower and my hair just naturally is curly and poofy. But anyway, let's see these weird, crazy, scary SpongeBob theories.
Welcome back, everyone. I imagine that a lot of you watching are fans of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Absolutely.
Some of you may just be like me, though. You've seen enough to know all of the characters, but you've not watched it all. Others may have never seen it before in their life. Whichever group you fall into, I know you're going to love this video. Today, we jump down the rabbit hole of the deepest, darkest, and strangest fan theories about the world of Bikini Bottom. My name is Danny Burke, and this is the top 10 scary SpongeBob theories. Starting off at number 10 now, we have the nukes. Now, to many people, Bikini Bottom is just a cheeky reference to bikinis and, well, bottoms, I guess. To those of you that are into their history, though, that name may ring a bell. Between 1946 and 1958, during the Cold War, the US government detonated 67 nuclear weapons on some islands in the Pacific. The islands were called Eniwetok and Bikini. The US government removed 167 people from Bikini so that they could test their nukes there, including the detonation of Bravo, which was 1,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. When the residents were returned to the island in the 1970s, they had to be removed once again after ingesting food with radioactive material in it. The theory is that Bikini Bottom is near to the real island of Bikini Atoll, and that all of the characters are the results of twisted genetic mutations. That would certainly explain the talking sponge. Moving on to number 9 now, we have
Makes
Krabs
sense.
the Cannibal. As far as
I've heard of this theory.
Originated on Reddit. A user suggested that perhaps Mr. Krabs is a cannibal. Not only that, the secret ingredient to his Krabby Patty is crab meat. Aside from his mother, Krabs seems to be the only crab in Bikini Bottom. Were the others served up by him to the locals? In one episode, Mr. Krabs says that he became depressed after the war. Did this lead him down a dark path of cannibalism? We also see that Plankton got half of the secret recipe but could never perfect it like Krabs did. Is it because the other half features crab meat? Something Plankton would never be able to guess. At one point he even tells Plankton that real plankton are the secret ingredient, just to scare him. Do you guys think this all adds up to Krabs the Cannibal? Next up at number 8.
I can completely see that being real.
This is a theory first shared on Reddit by user Drake Grayson. Now they claim that there is a number of similarities between Bikini Bottom and Nazi Germany. Squidward, a failed artist who hates those who are different from him and dreams of living on Easter Island with only other squids. They say that is quite similar to Hitler, a failed artist who hated those different from him and had a dream of living in a similar homogenous society. SpongeBob is supposed to represent all the people that Hitler wanted to get rid of in Germany. Patrick is supposed to represent the ignorance of the people who didn't notice or care about the persecution of others until it was too late. Sandy's friendship with SpongeBob and Patrick means that she's apparently America, while Mr. Krabs' bad treatment of Squidward makes him Europe, blaming Squidward for everything in the way that Europe blamed Germany for everything at the end of World War I, which paved the way for another world war. Sounds pretty crazy, but
that seems a little far-fetched, but I can see it.
We have the 7 deadly sins.
I've heard of this one too.
The 7 deadly sins are said to be wrongdoings that bring a person closer to evil, so they're a pretty serious thing. But what's the connection there to a light-hearted cartoon like SpongeBob? Well, some say that each of the show's characters is based on one of those sins. Squidward is wrath. He hates almost everything, including his job, his neighbors, even his own life. Patrick is sloth, as evidenced by his laziness. Mrs. Puff's overindulgence of food makes her glutton. Plankton's desire to have everything Mr. Krabs has makes him envy. Mr. Krabs himself is greed, because despite having wealth and power, he wants more, often at the expense of others. Pearl's boy-crazy nature makes her lust.
My hair keeps poofing up, sorry about that.
Too highly of herself and her achievements. And who's SpongeBob? Well, Well, perhaps he's the one that these 7 deadly sins are tempting towards evil. Moving on to number 6 now, we have psychosis. Psychosis is an abnormal condition of the mind in which sufferers struggle to ascertain what is real and what is not. Well, one theory states that Squidward seems to exhibit some of the symptoms associated with psychosis. During the Idiot Box episode, Squidward watches boxing on TV and appears to hallucinate that it's actually cardboard boxes fighting. He becomes irrationally obsessed with his own box, and the sounds that he hears are symptoms of his psychosis. Other people disagree strongly and say that Squidward simply has a good imagination. Either way, it is quite a touchy subject. Some members of the community say that it trivializes mental illness. Next up at number 5,
I can see that.
SpongeBob is dead. Many fans of the show noticed a distinct change in SpongeBob after the end of the 3rd season. When he returned in the 4th, he seemed different. More, well, to put it one way, stupid. Whereas before he was just a bit naive, now he seemed downright dumb. Was this the same SpongeBob? Some say no. They say that between the 3rd and the 4th season, the SpongeBob movie came out, which featured his death scene, and that SpongeBob actually really did die there. When he returned to the screens for the 4th season, he was actually a clone of SpongeBob, just like how real sponges reproduce asexually. The SpongeBob from the 4th season is essentially a child, which accounts for his noticeable lack of intelligence. The real SpongeBob shriveled up and died under a lamp. Harsh. Coming in number 4 now, we have
No, I don't believe
powder.
that. That
Plankton
seems
spends
really
most of his time
far-fetched.
on the show trying to get his hands on the secret ingredient to Krabby Patties. Well, we've already talked about how it could be crab meat, but what if all the ingredients are normal, but the reason they're so addictive is because they have drugs in them? That's right. Some people have a theory that Mr. Krabs spikes his food in order to get his customers hooked. Not convinced? Well, in January 2019, Twitter user Catherine Danielle shared a video of her Googling to find out what the secret ingredient was. Google told her it was a pinch of King Neptune's Poseidon powder. If you look up what Poseidon powder means on Urban Dictionary, you are told it's slang for cocaine. Case closed. I'll leave that one with you. Next up, number 3 now, we have the secret box.
I don't buy
In the
that
Donut
at all.
of Shame
That
episode,
seems
we see SpongeBob
like a
drink
stretch.
a whole bottle of grog for Patrick's birthday. In SpongeBob's drunken stupor, he dances on the table, prank calls everyone he knows, and ends up passing out after saying a donut this nice could really make a guy happy. Later on in the Secret Box episode, we see that Patrick has been keeping an embarrassing photo of SpongeBob from a party. Fans think that it's actually a picture of drunk SpongeBob, and that he may be saving it to potentially blackmail his own friend in the future. Shady. Moving on to number 2 now, we have drugs. More drugs, I guess. You might say that the characters in SpongeBob behave strangely because they're cartoon characters. They're not supposed to be normal. Others say that all of the characters are on drugs. Some of the suggestions include SpongeBob himself being on magic mushrooms, Squidward being on medical heroin, and Patrick taking medical marijuana. And there's Mr. Krabs and Mrs. Puff, who are said to take medicinal cocaine. I think putting medical and medicinal in front of all of those is a way that the theory is acceptable to talk about, but is it believable? I don't know. What do you think? And finally, number 1 now, we have Marxism. This theory states that all the characters are related to tenets of Marxism. I'm afraid you guys are going to have to go and look up what Marxism is if you've never heard of it. I really don't have time in the last minute of the video to explain all of it. Sorry. Essentially though, Mr. Krabs is the business owner who is exploiting his workers for profit. SpongeBob and Squidward represent the proletariat. SpongeBob is the conscious one who is blindly obedient to Mr. Krabs' authority and even becomes a member of the elite when he takes over the Krusty Krab when Mr. Krab retires. Squidward attempts to form a union to go on strike with the masses. This ends up failing. These 3 characters are the main parts of the theory, but many characters have their own role in this Marxist paradigm. A link to the full theory on Reddit will be in the description box below. And when you've checked that out, make sure you leave a nice comment. Let me know which one of
I really wouldn't include it if you're not really gonna like try to explain it, but
these was
well,
your
we'll just
favorite theories.
anything else? No, okay. Okay, the very first part, like the first 2, 3, 4, even 5 theories I could see happening, but as it got to number 1, I feel like these theories are just getting more and more and more far-fetched and just would not happen. Which one was it? There was one that was really just a stretch for me.
Table.
This one, trying to blackmail SpongeBob, and he has a picture of him. that seems like a very far stretch, and it's not even scary. Okay. Some people have a lot of time on their hands to come up with these absolutely some of these are just ridiculous theories that I just don't see happening. Again, like I said, the beginning I could see happening, but towards the end of the video and the higher the list, they just got more and more absurd. But let me know what you guys think, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. So bye.